You've got your finances in place, you've conducted your research, you've viewed several properties, you've selected a property, you've checked the numbers. Now it's time to make an offer. Hi, I'm Andy Walker from monoperty.com, where I blog online about my journey as a property investor and landlord, sharing what works for me and what doesn't to help you start or expand your property portfolio. Now, property is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. There isn't an entity that decides how much property is worth. It's completely driven by the general population. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, isn't it set by the valuer when the valuer inspects the property? Well, yes. But they base their figures on recent sales in the local area. They do take other factors into account and they'll reduce the property accordingly if it requires a lot of work. Making an offer is the start of entering into negotiations. It is a skill and it's something I've not mastered yet, but I'd like to share with you what I've learnt so far. The idea is that you get the property for the best price. And there's something important that I want you to remember. You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. Now, don't be afraid of making a low offer, or at least an offer below the asking price, because that's all it is, an asking price. You're not forcing anyone to sell, you're simply giving them the opportunity to sell, or at least enter into negotiations. Now, the estate agent or realtor is a professional negotiator, and they work for the seller. If they work on a commission, it's based on the price they receive. So the higher the price, the bigger the commission. So be prepared for bargaining tactics. Now, there's a couple of things you can remind yourself of to give yourself more confidence. First of all, no sale means no commission, and if you've showed an interest, that's good for them. A smaller commission is better than no commission. You've already done your research and due diligence, so make sure you convey that when you speak to the selling agent, and they'll then realise that your offer is based on sound understanding of the property. Here are some reasons why your offer will be below the asking price. A similar property has recently sold for a lower price and the market hasn't changed. There are some repairs or improvements required to the property and you'll need to be paid for your time in getting those jobs done, as well as the cost of the works. The property has been on the market for a while and it hasn't sold. Now, this could be because it's in a bad state of repair, or it could be that there's just a lack of demand for that type of property as a home, but it would still make a good rental. As you're buying as an investor, you don't have anything to sell, which means there won't be a chain behind you and that you can complete the purchase much quicker than most people. If you're purchasing with a mortgage, you can only be beaten by a cash buyer in terms of speed. Speed can also be reflected in your offer, as it can be very appealing to some sellers, for example if they're changing jobs and they need to move quickly, or a whole raft of other reasons. Consider this, if someone has a property on the market for $100,000 and they need to move quickly, they may accept a lower offer because they live there for 20 years and maybe purchase that property for $30,000, $40,000 or $50,000. So they have all that equity to play with to their advantage and yours. Remember, you're not forcing anyone to sell, you're simply showing an interest and making an offer, and that offer may solve someone's problem. I prefer to make my offer in person so I can see their reaction, and I then back up my offer in writing, which also contains my terms and conditions. I'll place a link to a copy of that letter in the description below so you can download it and tweak it for your own requirements. The letter emphasises that I'm in a good, strong position to buy with a predetermined timeline for completion of the purchase, to give the selling agent and seller some reassurance of my commitment. I also request that if my offer is accepted, that the property is taken off the market to avoid any more viewings or any interest and the possibility of a bidding war. Once your offer has been accepted, you'll then need to instruct your solicitor and notify your mortgage broker so they can make arrangements for the valuation and the searches to take place. You will need to move quickly so that you can honour your conditions and reduce the risk of the seller dropping out of the sale. You will have committed financially with your valuation and search fees that are non-refundable, so it's in your own best interest anyway. In England and Wales, the sale is not legally binding until exchange of contracts, so speed is of the essence. The law is different in other parts of the world, and your mortgage broker or lawyer will be able to advise you on this. One more tip before I finish. If the seller doesn't accept your offer, but they come back to you with a counter offer that you're happy with, then request a condition before agreeing to that offer. This happened to me when I purchased my first renovation project. It was a sale by probate and the property had been empty for about 5 months. I agreed to the new price on the condition that I was allowed access to the property between exchange of contracts and completion of the purchase. This gave me 2 weeks access to the property to allow me to remove the kitchen, the bathroom suite and all the carpets, so I could then start updating the property before I completed the purchase and had to make a mortgage payment. It could be that the property you're looking to buy has some large furniture in good condition and you would like that included in the sale. It could be a hassle for the seller to have to move that furniture out, but it could save you money if you're looking at letting that property out furnished. It's just a thought. Making offers can be an emotional experience, but make sure you stick to your budget. If your final offer isn't accepted, then leave it and walk away. Trust me, you'll soon find another good property, if not even better. If you have any advice about making offers, then please share it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about it, and I'm sure others would too. As always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the box below or head over to monopty.com/making offers. If you found this video useful, please share and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please click that big red button there, or if you're on a mobile device, somewhere else on this page, so you don't miss any of my future videos that are all geared towards helping you start or improve your property business. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.